Now there is a good red-blooded, lion-hearted English female. Makes a right signal and then turns left. Also goes through a red light. Bless her. Maybe she's colorblind. I think New York City's traffic commissioner has the right answer. His idea is that on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, only men drive in New York, in the usual way. But then, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, the streets are the exclusive property of the ladies. All the traffic lights turned off, the cops dressed in the latest male fashions, and the girls, bless them, make up the signals as they go along. The lights changed, sorry.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm terribly sorry.
Sorry, there is a halt sign there, you know. You practically rammed me.
Any damage, Hillary?
Well, no, my lady, but no thanks to him. He crossed over a halt sign without stopping.
Well, he didn't actually hit us.
Well, no, it's not really a very good way of driving, is it?
I'm terribly sorry. It was all my fault.
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't. My chauffeur's a very fast driver.
Fast? It was my right of way. He shot out in front of me.
Hillary, get in the car.
He was wrong.
I admit it.
Oh, get in the car, Hillary.
I had hoped we might meet under more pleasant circumstances.
Oh, do you know me then?
Everyone in London knows the beautiful Countess and you, moreover. Allow me to introduce myself.
Everyone in London knows the famous Simon Templar.
Our readers like the travel angle, Countess. What about this cruise you're planning?
Head up, just a little.
6 intimate friends on my yacht, cruising the Mediterranean.
Hold it, please.
I'm heading the article London's Leading Hostess.
Now, look to your right.
Don't you think that's a little boastful?
Hold it.
I beg your pardon, my lady. About the dessert for tonight, my lady. Cook suggests fish marula.
No, I'd like one on the settee there.
What is it?
Excuse me.
Oh, it's peaches stuffed with ice cream and wrapped in batter. Baked lightly with crushed almonds.
Oh, perfect.
Sounds delicious.
Yes, and terribly fattening. Yes, Sanders, tell cook that'll be fine.
Thank you, my lady.
Divine. Now then, hold it.
Hillary,
My lady.
you have your instructions for tonight.
Yes, my lady.
And the flowers.
I'm picking them up at 5 o'clock. 6 arrangements in the colours you ordered.
Thank you, Hillary.
Thank you, my lady.
Now, I'd like one by the fireplace. Something, regal.
They're such wonderful servants. Sanders is the perfect butler. And as for Hillary, I don't know what I'd do without him.
Oh, heavenly.
What a lovely party we have enjoyed,
I
sir.
haven't seen you for so long.
Yeah.
Good night. Good night. Good night. Lovely to see you. Good night. Good
And you
night.
will dine with us soon.
Oh, Lady Wentworth, I'd adore to. And, Sir Henry, you won't forget to ask the Duke about his patronage.
Of course, the London School for Orphans will have its best year yet.
I don't know what I'd do without the Wentworths. Lovely to see you.
Good night. And thank you for a lovely evening.
Good night,
Good
both
night.
of you.
What a delightful party. I really enjoyed every minute.
Not bad. Where'd you find it?
In her bedroom, like you said I would.
Oh, you should have seen the diamonds Lady Wentworth is wearing tonight. I was absolutely drooling.
Well, we can't have everything.
Unfortunately.
I need a drink.
Oh? Did you have any trouble?
Yeah, well, you could put it that way.
What happened?
The Wentworths have a butler.
Well, I told you that.
He woke up.
And?
I had to cosh him.
You idiot.
I didn't have any alternative.
I've told you before, no violence. Remember what happened to that night porter?
Oh, don't keep on and on about that night porter.
Well, you hit him. 2 days later, he died.
Oh, who the devil's that? You expecting anyone?
One of my guests must have forgotten something. Get the stuff. Say I've gone to bed.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. This is the residence of the Countess and Museum Morova, isn't it?
Yes, sir, but I'm afraid the Countess has retired, sir.
Oh. Well, isn't that a shame? Oh, would you tell her Mr. Simon Templar called? And I'll telephone tomorrow.
Very good, sir.
Why, Mr. Templar, what an unexpected surprise.
Pleasure, I hope.
Possibly.
May I come in?
Thank you, Saunders. Do you usually drop in unannounced on people at this hour of the night?
Never on people. You're different.
I am.
Certainly, dear Countess. This afternoon, when I narrowly missed your rumble wagon by an inch, you know what I said to myself?
Oh, I'm sure it was a fascinating conversation.
Well, as a matter of fact, it was. I said to myself, Simon, my boy, this citadel can and shall be taken, and you are the boy to do it.
Such modesty.
Not at all. I think of you as a queen, as the goddess.
A goddess?
Yes, a goddess without flaw or imperfection. And I am your self-appointed high priest. On the other hand, if that's too spiritual, think of yourself as my mistress.
Oh?
And I'm your faithful dog, come to give you his paw, which reminds me, yours.
Mine?
Yes, you dropped it this afternoon.
Did I?
Careless, but there again, a goddess can afford to be careless.
Well, thank you very much for returning it. And now, if you don't mind, I'd like to go to bed.
Oh, my dear Countess, be patient. First things first.
You're not mad, just a borderline case.
I have an irresistible urge to dance with you.
My dear Mr. Templar, I wouldn't go dancing tonight with a combination of Nourayev and Fred Astaire. Simon, my glove.
What about it?
You stole it?
I had to.
Why?
Steal lots of things.
For instance?
Don't talk.
Simon,
Hmm?
the accident,
What about that?
was it deliberate?
Of course.
You are mad.
Utterly.
I don't understand you.
Don't talk.
Simon,
Now what?
you are a liar
And a thief.
and charming.
Agreed.
Simon,
What?
why don't we go?
Well,
Someplace less crowded.
Good night, madam. Good night, sir.
good night, Otto.
Thank you for a lovely evening. I enjoyed every minute of it.
So did I.
You're very charming
Well, thank you, ma'am.
and very devious. You haven't fooled me for 1 second.
All right. I'll admit, I do have an ulterior motive.
Which is?
Money. Well, you're a very charitable lady, and I'm very poor.
You don't look poor.
I will don't let appearances fool you. You see the room where I live, it's so small even the rats are round shouldered.
Would you like to come in and have a nightcap?
I thought you'd never ask.
Then perhaps you'll tell me what this little charade is all about. I hate to disillusion you, Simon. But I'm not a queen nor a goddess.
I know. You're a crook.
What?
A thief. A second-story girl.
Oh, I don't know what you mean.
Now, Audrey, I am on to you.
Oh?
Yes, I happen to know that while Sir Henry and Lady Wentworth were acquiring indigestion at your groaning board tonight, their flat in Park Lane was robbed of approximately £20,000 worth of jewelry.
How dreadful.
Isn't it? And then 2 months ago, while you were entertaining Mr. and Mrs. Graham Page in your box at Ascot. Incidentally, you're not really interested in horses, are you? Yeah.
Not particularly.
Anyway, between the third and the last race, their maisonette in Kensington was burgled. You.
Me?
Yes, and I can, if you want me to, go into details of at least 4 other recent jewel robberies.
Don't bother.
Then you admit it.
Why not?
Do you have anything to say?
Do you want a diagram?
A brief sketch will do.
My husband died 4 years ago,
Leaving you a grief-stricken widow.
leaving me nothing except a title, some expensive tastes, and a lot of debts.
No cash.
Not a penny. And let me tell you, darling, the people who say that money doesn't buy happiness just don't know how to spend it.
So you embarked on a career of crime.
Well, you're hardly in a position to disapprove, are you?
I certainly don't disapprove. It merely crossed my mind that you and I might make a marvelous team.
Is this a takeover bid?
It's up to you.
Here's to partners in crime.
Partners? You must be out of your mind. What do we need someone else for? Someone else to come in and share the stuff. And just what can Templar do that I can't?
Now, let's get our relative positions straight. I run this show, understand? I give the orders, you carry them out. The saint is in, and that's final.
All right. And just how do you know that you can trust him?
I've set up a little job. It's for next Tuesday night. If he can do it, he'll have proved himself. I've got tickets for the theater. My guests are Mr. and Mrs. Matthew Sankin.
Mine ear is much enamored of thy note. So is mine eye enthralled to thy shape. And I fear virtue's force, for force doth move me on the first view to say, to swear, I love thee.
Methinks, mistress, you should have little reason for that. And yet, to say the truth, reason and love keep little company together nowadays.
Hey, open the door! Open this door! Let me out! Come on, let me out! Help! Help! Open this door, will you?
I'll give thee fairies to attend on thee.
This is an evening Mr. and Mrs. Matthew Sankin will remember for a long time.
Are you sure the butler didn't see you?
Sanders has an old proverb. Never tell your mother how to have children.
And you didn't hit him.
Hit who?
What the Countess means is that I didn't have to cosh the night porter.
You told him.
No, I didn't. Simon, how did you know that?
Well, I know all sorts of things. Pick up bits of information here and there.
How did you know about the night porter?
Hilleran.
If you don't take your hand off my shoulder, I'll break your bank.
If we start fighting among ourselves, we're finished. Now stop it.
It's wise advice.
I don't trust him.
Mutual.
I'm sick of this. Hilleran's got a permanent chip on his shoulder and Templar keeps needling him.
Now drop it and let's get down to business. The ticket.
Well, I've taken care of the business part. Getting rid of this stuff is simply a matter of careful planning.
Which is my department. The 11 a.m. flight to Amsterdam.
Right? Who do we deal with in Amsterdam?
Oh, we've got a man there. His name is...
Never mind about his name. We trust him. That's enough.
I suppose it is.
I'm not really interested, just as long as I get my cut.
Hilleran will drive you to the airport. Be ready by 9:30.
All right. And immediately you get to Amsterdam, you phone.
But he's aware of that.
So is Templar.
Audrey, why don't we discuss this Mediterranean cruise? It needs a lot of planning.
Oh, not tonight, Simon. I'm tired.
Far be it from me to keep you up.
Oh, look, Simon, I didn't mean to be sharp. It's just that tonight's been a strain for all of us.
Not for me. Good night, all.
Who does he think he is? I don't like him.
You made that perfectly clear.
What do we need him for? Can you understand it? What can he do that I can't?
You'd better ask Audrey that question.
Evening, Simon.
Well, as I live and breathe, Inspector Claude used to steal in person. A bloodhound of the yard. Now, don't tell me. You have come to have your fortune told.
No, I'm here to arrest you.
Oh, isn't that nice?
10:30 tonight, the yard received a telephone message reporting a robbery.
Hello, Inspector Teal. I can't give my name, you know, but I happen to be a neighbor of the Sankins.
How do you know?
The caller also went on to say that Sankins had been robbed, that the butler was locked in a closet in the bedroom, and that Lady Sankin had had her jewels stolen. They were in a wall safe that was hidden behind a copy of a Gainsborough. Not a very good one, too, either, I might add. Would you like one of these?
I expect you to know the details of the robbery since you did it.
The caller also went on to say that he hoped you would have a happy United Nations Day, and then he hung up.
You phoned.
My word, Claude. You really are coming on as a detective. Of course I phoned.
Why?
Because you have been faced with a series of robberies in the past 6 months, and Scotland Yard is baffled. So I have decided to help.
That's very charitable of you.
Now, don't misunderstand me, Claude. I couldn't care less whether you get promoted or sent back to the traffic squad. It so happens that someone I knew was killed on one of those jobs.
You mean Williamson?
Yes, the night porter. He was coshed by a muscle boy named Hilleran. He left a widow with 2 kids.
Simon, did you or did you not rob Matthew Sankin tonight?
Since you put it that way, yes, I did.
Come on, then.
On the other hand, if you cooperate, you can pick up the loot tomorrow.
How?
The 11 a.m. flight from London to Amsterdam is a man called Sanders. Arrest him, but not here.
Why not?
I don't want the Countess and Yusia Morova alarmed.
Who's she?
Anyway, you do as I say. Arrest Sanders quietly, and in 10 days you can have the rest of them.
I'd rather have you.
Well, that's about all you will get, if you arrest me. Claude, I'm on the inside. I'm offering you 6 jewel robberies for 1. And I reported that anyway. I pulled this job tonight purely so they'd trust me. And now they do.
I don't like it. Templar's too smooth.
Audrey seems to like him.
She's out of her mind.
She's a boss. And you're jealous.
Don't make me laugh.
You're sore because you're no longer head boy. Now, I think Audrey knows what she's doing. This cruise job, we need somebody who's smooth. Like Templar.
Sanders' flight landed in Amsterdam 10 hours ago. I just can't understand why we haven't heard from him.
Are you worried?
Terribly. Simon, look at me. Can I trust you?
That's a question you'll have to answer yourself.
I can't. I've never met anyone like you before. You make me feel uncertain. I'm afraid I'm falling in love with you.
Please don't, you'll be sorry.
I'll remember that.
Good.
Simon, are you being honest with me?
I robbed Sankin's flat.
I know, but I'm afraid something's happened to Sanders.
You should be.
And how long have you been out there?
I just came down the stairs.
Did you?
Yes. Sanders always calls us the minute he lands in Amsterdam. He calls us again as soon as he's got rid of the stuff. He landed 10 hours ago and we haven't heard a thing.
Or maybe he slipped getting off the plane and broke his leg.
Oh, sure.
Or he's sick. There could be a dozen reasons why he hasn't called.
I can think of one.
Hillary, you're not sure?
Audrey, I can smell detectives. That man getting into the plane behind Sanders spelled out copper as clear as if he was wearing uniform.
Your imagination really runs wild, doesn't it?
So does yours if you think you can shop us.
You want the plain, unvarnished truth? All right, I'll tell you. I left the theater and I robbed the Sankins. Then I naturally telephoned the police to tell them all about it. Now, if you'll excuse me,
Where are you going?
I have an appointment with the governor at Dartmoor. You have to book yourselves in advance these days. Good night.
Simon, wait.
Let him go.
It's ridiculous. He couldn't have shot Sanders.
Then why haven't we heard?
I don't know. But I do know that Simon had nothing to do with it.
Audrey, let's go back the way we used to be. Just you and me. You're not in love with him.
So you were listening.
Audrey, I can't help it. I'm crazy about you. You know that.
Don't you ever do that again.
I'm sorry.
Just because I prefer Simon's company to yours, you're ready to accuse him of anything.
I only think that we ought...
I don't care what you think. I'm running this show, and if you've any other ideas, you can pull out of this cruise deal right this minute.
Audrey, I'm sorry.
All right. Then leave for Cannes in the morning and start lining up the crew.
Now, why don't you tell me about this cruise?
Three of the richest men in England with their wives are spending a week on my yacht.
Your yacht?
Chartered, with a picked crew.
And?
The wives own jewelry worth a fortune.
Well, will they be taking it on a cruise?
They will. Something around £250,000 worth of jewelry will be jaywalking over the Mediterranean.
And we appropriate it.
That's right.
All right. Where do we start?
The day after tomorrow, you and I leave for Cannes. This is the biggest game I've ever played. I've spent months planning it, down to the smallest detail. Here's the guest list. The long-range forecast is fine. But if the weather changes, we move the whole project ahead 24 hours.
Saunders and Lady Levy. Was it the Levy Machine Company?
Yes, darling, he owns it.
Mr. and Mrs. George Ulrich and Lord and Lady Bainton.
Lady Bainton owns a diamond tiara valued at £17,000.
It's better than the halos.
Boucher,
Madame?
along with your usual duties, you double as cabin steward.
Oui, madame, I understand.
Hilleran, what about the crew?
They're okay.
The second night out, we have all been invited to attend a reception by Princess Grace at the palace.
You must be joking.
Of course I am. We won't be anywhere near Monte Carlo. But that ensured them bringing their jewelry. Well, I think that about takes care of everything. We'll meet again tomorrow morning at 10. Oh, As the guests don't come on board until the afternoon, you can all have the rest of today off.
First, we eat. Dinner, you and me, hmm? No, dinner? Oh, darling, which is it to be?
Hello, Dickie.
Simon!
How are you?
Bursting with curiosity since I got your telegram.
A friend?
I don't know, I just met her. Darling, you go. Allez, vamos, raus, scapa. But come back again, eh?
Oh, that's right.
Fine. What's it all about?
How would you like to make some easy money?
As always.
I need your help.
You have it?
Still have your boat?
Just had it overhauled in Marseille.
Good. I'm on the Corsican Maid out in the harbor. There's going to be a jewel robbery. A big one. Now, you don't have to know all the details now. But essentially what you have to do is... Excuse me. Why don't you join us?
Who's he?
A friend.
Oh?
Yes, some people have...
I'd have to be dying of thirst before I took a drink off you.
You followed him?
Yeah. He's having a drink with a friend.
And that is wrong?
I can smell these things, Jacques. Templar's up to something, I know.
But what?
I'm going to find out by cabling a friend of mine in Amsterdam. If Sanders has been arrested, it's Templar that shot him. And if he has, I'll kill him.
My daughter's 17, and my son Julius is in his last year at Cambridge. Oh, thank you.
Reading law.
You must be very proud of him, Lady Levy.
And we both are.
Thank you, Hilary.
Thank you, my lady.
Now, if you'll both excuse me, I have a few things to attend to. Yes, of course.
I mean, the English are the most highly taxed people in the world. Why on earth should I pay for somebody else's false teeth?
Lord Braden, I agree with you. You're absolutely right. Would you excuse me?
Of course.
Oh, help yourself to another duty-free drink.
Thank you.
I'm ready.
Clara, do me a favor. Stay reasonably sober and be pleasant to George Ulrich.
Well, he's such an incredible bore. All he talks about is his health.
He's important to me on a business deal. Be nice to him.
I know I'm going to be ill.
Oh, George, no one gets seasick in weather like this.
I'm very sensitive to motion.
It's all in your mind. Come in. I brought you these, George. My guaranteed remedy for seasickness.
Oh, thank you, Audrey. I may need it.
We'll be right up, Audrey. Take your time. Everyone's just sitting around.
How many of these do I take?
Oh, one every 4 hours. See you later. All right, darling.
Did you see Mrs. Ulrich's bracelet? And the rings of Lady Levy. 15 carats at least.
Everybody occupied?
Yes, but not for long. And now, gentlemen, let's get down to business. We drop anchor 8 miles off Civitavecchia Harbour the day after tomorrow.
Now, what if they ask questions?
We say it's engine trouble.
And the rendezvous?
It's all arranged. The launch will be alongside at 10 p.m. You and Hilleran will be on the dock by 10:30, 10:45 at the latest. A fast car will be waiting for you.
And we drive to Rome.
That's right. You're booked on a midnight tourist flight from Rome to London. Now, when you get to London, go to the flat in Paddington and lie low. Don't under any circumstances go anywhere near my house. Clear?
That's glass.
Now, you put 2 drops of this in that after-dinner coffee. It's strong, so don't overdo it.
2 drops.
Yes, and plain coffee to Simon and me. Got it?
Don't worry.
And don't get the cups mixed. Boucher,
Madame?
during dinner, you go through their cabins and take all the jewelry. Don't worry, you won't be interrupted.
Yes, madame.
Now, any questions?
Yes. How quick does that stuff work?
Between 2 to 5 minutes, depending on how much liquor they've had. They'll be unconscious about 8 hours, possibly 10. Oh, and Simon, you and I must pretend to be as heavily doped as the rest of them.
And covered with shame and remorse for the terrible thing that's happened to our guests.
Exactly. Oh, Hilleran, don't forget to take my jewelry, too.
Right.
Everything set with the crew?
Relax. I chose them, didn't I?
Well, I think that about settles everything.
Five clubs.
No bid. No bid?
David.
Ready?
Thank you.
Come on, partner.
And were you ill for long?
3 months. The doctor thought I wouldn't pull through.
How terrible. Isn't it beautiful?
Mm-hmm. Good.
A little.
I'll get your wrap.
No, stay here. Simon, are you happy?
Reasonably, I suppose. How about you?
Very. I love it, the whole situation.
Meaning the excitement.
And the danger. I love it.
No, Audrey. Deep down, you're not really cut out for this life.
Oh, come on, Simon. No moralizing. Not from you.
I'm sorry.
I'm a thief, and I admit it, but I steal with flair.
And panache,
Like you.
I suppose.
You know, Simon, when this situation is over, I'll have enough to live on for the rest of my life.
You mean you intend to reform?
I might, if you'd help me.
I will, I promise.
I'm in love with you, Simon.
I'm flattered.
Is that all?
Can't mix business with romance.
You're quite right. Very sweet.
So you're...
Well, my guests are waiting, and after all, I am the hostess.
Have you ever met anyone so thoughtful?
We enjoy each other's company, Rachel and I.
These things should be attended to
Well,
immediately.
how's it
If you're
going?
not feeding well,
too
you go
well,
straight
I'm
to
afraid.
Ah, we're willing. Watch out for these two, you know. Everything all right?
You should know you're the boss.
This cable just came. Anything wrong?
That dirty, rotten, double-crossing.
What do you mean?
I thought as much. Sanders has been arrested in Amsterdam. I knew it. I told Audrey all along.
Templar.
Who else? Is he still on deck?
Yes.
Right, we'll get this over quick. All right, take your feet.
Right.
That's most amusing, really. What happened?
Mr. Templar must have slipped, milady.
He stuck his head. On the rail, probably.
Oh, very strange. The deck is rather slippery, sir.
Are you all right, Simon?
What happened, Templar?
I think you must have tripped or something, sir.
Yes, and hit my head.
Can I help you, sir?
No, that'll be all right, Hilary. I'll talk to you in my cabin.
Very good, my lady.
Audrey, can I do anything?
No, it's all right, George. Go and join the others. Everything will be all right. What really happened?
Hiller and Kashmir.
Stupid fool! He might have ruined everything.
He may yet.
No, he won't. Oh, I'll teach him a lesson.
Now, you let me be his teacher. I'm going to break his back.
No, that's my job. Now, you go to your cabin and relax. Oh, I'll take care of Hilary. The devil do you think you're doing?
Before you sound off, Audrey,
You stupid, clumsy fool! With your idiotic jealousy, you could have wrecked the whole scheme.
will you just let me tell you
Let
something?
me tell you something. You are my business partner, that's all. So if you've got any romantic ideas, get rid of them. In that department, you mean absolutely nothing to me.
And Templar does, is that it? You're in love with him.
That's none of your business.
It is my business. Sanders has been arrested.
What?
They picked him up at Amsterdam airport. The whole operation is smashed. Read that. Templar with his smooth talk and his fancy clothes. He's been playing you for a sucker all along, behind your back. He must have nearly died laughing. Now do you believe me? I was right all along. Go on, say it.
You were right all along.
All right. So we've got to get rid of him. Quick.
Wait!
Oh, Audrey, if you go on making excuses for him.
I'm not making excuses, Hilary. Listen. We move the whole job ahead 24 hours to tomorrow night.
Why? I don't get it.
Cable Civitavecchia changed the rendezvous. Tell the launch to meet us tomorrow night at 10 o'clock.
Hmm?
Don't you see? We anticipate Mr. Templar. I'll go ashore with you. We'll hide out together in Rome.
Ah. Now you're talking.
It's perfect. Why, with Templar's reputation, the police won't believe a word he says.
You mean say you've never been to Italy? No, we haven't, and I know George would love it. Don't you think so? I think you'd adore
Well, I
it.
don't think I should take coffee.
Oh, you must, George. It's awfully good for seasickness.
Is that so?
Oh, drink it up, George.
Thank you, Hilary. We were talking about Italy, do you remember? Yes, the last time we were there together, darling. We had such a divine time. But Covent Garden, you'll get that.
Oh, all of a sudden I've got the most terrible headache.
Oh, that's a switch.
I think I'll go to the cabin for an aspirin.
Hey,
Audrey, my love, what are you trying to pull? There was something in that coffee.
I don't know what on earth you're talking about. We're partners, you and I.
get the men's wallets and cufflinks?
Right. Get me a drink, Hillary.
Right.
Wonder why I trusted Templar. Always thought I could judge men.
Well, you can't.
Obviously. Hillary!
You underestimated me, Audrey. Been through the cabins?
What do you think? It's all in here.
Good. Well, the launch doesn't come alongside for 2 hours yet. We'll get rid of Templar first. The types women go for.
What shall we do with him?
Take his head, but tip him over the side. It's the launch.
It's a bit early.
I say it's early. Stand back, Hillary! You all right?
We're just in time.
Come on in here. Simon, what's been going on in here?
Well, it's a little complicated. I'll tell you later.
Oh, why the change in plan, then?
Well, didn't you understand my last signal?
I understood it all right. I just didn't believe it. Ah, very nice.
Here, take these. You know what to do.
Sure. Touching.
Mr. Templar, I think you're the bravest man I've ever known. And having your friend follow us in a boat, why, it was brilliant.
It was nothing, really.
Why the devil couldn't you have warned us in advance?
She's told you that, the whole crew are pirates.
There's one question you haven't answered. Just exactly where is our jewelry?
Well, it's on its way to London now. In 36 hours, you'll be able to pick it up at the London School for Orphans.
The what?
And I know you'll all be generous enough to leave, say, 10% as a donation to this very worthwhile charity.
We'd be glad to.
Good.
Delighted.
Just what happened to Hillary?
Oh, well, in the process of trying to kill me, he fell overboard. I feel quite dreadful about it.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Audrey, didn't you have any suspicions?
Audrey only thinks good about everybody. Don't you, darling?
Oh, yes, darling. Everybody.
Of course, Mr. Templar wasn't fooled. He spotted Hillary and Boucher the moment they came aboard. Mr. Templar, what would have happened if you hadn't been on this party?
I wonder.
Well, we'll be in Cannes in the morning, then you can be on your way to London to get back your jewels. Meanwhile, I suggest we try and get some sleep.
Have you ever met anyone quite so thoughtful?
You lied to me right from the start.
What do you think, Beck? I told you I called the police after I robbed the Sankins, and I did say I was going to reform you.
Oh, you're absolutely hateful. You're mean and devious and dishonest.
Just what my pet are you?
And what about my jewelry?
Ah, well, most of that will go to the London School for Orphans. The rest will go to the widow of the man Hilleran killed.
Meaning I can't claim any of it?
Audrey, this hurts me more than it does you, believe me. But if you as much as set one pinky little toe in England, you'll go to jail.
And just where am I supposed to go?
Well, someplace warm. Say South America.
And how am I supposed to get there? Swim?
This should pay for first-class transportation. The rest, well, they'll set you up in a modest flat somewhere. There's a plane from Paris tomorrow night.
You know, I should have my head examined. But I'd rather stay with you.
Well, it's very sweet of you.
We will meet again, won't we?